Hey everyone, today I'm coming from our scan room. So, what I wanted to talk today about is why do we use technology in our office? Because if you've been to a chiropractor, you probably have never even heard of the technology that we use because majority of chiropractors don't use it. And that's okay because they look at, most chiropractors look at things on a musculoskeletal. So there's no need for that technology. But when we look at the neurology, the nervous system, it's very important to know how that nervous system is functioning. And that's what the scanning technology is doing. So we use three different pieces of technology in our office. We actually, none of the technology is putting anything in the body, and we're not taking anything out of the body. So the first one is what we call a rolling thermal. So this actually has two temperature probes right here, and it's actually telling the temperature difference coming off of each side of the spine. And why this is important is because it's actually able to let us know how the big guy up here, the brain, is communicating with all of our organs, our glands, our tissues, and how it's communicating through the nervous system. And that's important because if there's any inflammation, stress, interference in that communication pathway, well, the result is going to be dis-ease. And when we have dis-ease long enough in our body, that's when we start running into these, if it's going to our digestive tract, digestive issues, or go to, our prefrontal cortex, and our brain may be, focus or, concentration issues, behavior issues, all of these things. And the struggles are going to start arising in these kids. The second one that we do is a surface EMG. So what this is doing is it's measuring the amount of muscle activity along each side of the spine. And this is important because it is the receptors that are in our muscles and joints that's sending information to the big guy up here, the brain. So that is how our brain perceives information from our environment is through movement. And so when we move, that's how information goes. So if we have any stress or lack of motion in the spine, then we alter that information, and now we start decreasing good information to the brain. So this actually can measure how much stimulation is going to the brain and how clear is that. Do we have like 5 bars of cell phone reception, or do we only have 1 bar of cell phone reception? Are we kind of going in and out of that signal? So and this is very important because I've had bad cell phone reception and I hate it. Now, and I'm assuming every single one of you parents have experienced bad cell phone reception at some point. Now, come think about it. If you hate it when you're talking to someone, imagine if that's happening in your body and how your body is perceiving or processing information. Probably not going to be too happy with that, right? So that one's looking at the input, where that first one was looking at kind of that output to the organs, the glands, and tissues. And this last one, which is one of my favorite ones, is what we call HRV. So this is looking at how your body is, or your kid's body is able to adapt to its stress and its environment. So, when we get those situations, when 1 second our kid is perfectly fine and then all of a sudden, like, they were just talking to us and then they flip, right? 180. Well, this is going to help look at how their body's able to adapt so that we can then get this overall picture of how that nervous system's functioning so that we can then know where we need to focus on with our care so that we can address that stress and interference along that nervous system so that we can start restoring that connection, that communication back to our body so our body can start functioning the way that it was meant to. It was always meant to function, and that it can get back to that healing phase. Because a lot of times, parents, you all know our kids, they're stressed, they're overstimulated, they have so much stress going on around them that they just can't adapt to their environment. And what we do in this office is we find what's preventing their body from functioning or adapting to their environment, and we remove that stress, giving them that ability to function and adapt to their environment and live their full potential. So if you wanted to find out more information about the technology that we use in the office, then message us. We'd love to be able to explain more about it. Or if you want to get your kiddo scanned or get yourself scanned, because I know parents, we're stressed too. Yes, our kids are, but you are too. And if you want to get yourself or the whole family scanned, give us a call or message us. We'd love to be able to help you out. Otherwise, everyone have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.